5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Two white Muslims.
Go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi
Wa barakatuh.
My name's Junaid Rahim,
And my name's Muhammad Yusuf Bashforth.
and affectionately we're known as
The two white Muslims. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
You might find negative people in the mosque. You might find negative people in your circles.
Hang on a minute.
Gravitate towards more positive ones.
Can we just use a different word there? It's not might, is it? It's not. It's not.
Yes.
Would you like a sip of coffee, sir?
I think I should. Yes, yeah. Clear? Yes.
You
Oh,
will. You will find these
You
people.
will.
Because they're just there. You see them every day.
They often speak louder than most other people. It's the old he who shouts loudest gets heard.
Yeah.
Move away from them.
Just move away.
Move away from
Yeah.
them.
Go-
Sit at the other side of them.
Go to
You know.
the other side. Yeah, absolutely.
Or
Go to the other
go
side.
to another
Why
mosque.
don't you just set yourself a challenge, right, and go up and talk to somebody that you've never spoken to before?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually a great way to start.
Yeah. You
Because
did.
do you know what? Yeah, I did.
Was it
I did that.
17 years ago now?
Worst thing I ever did in my life.
Yeah.
Because you're still here.
I'm still here. I'm very needy. Tell me you like me. Tell me you like me. Do you like me? I'm very needy. But that's what you did. I turned up, just having moved into Wakefield, sat down in the mosque, because it went to the mosque, as you do, sat down in the mosque thinking, oh, yeah, this is okay. And this bloke sat next to me, gave salam, said, hey up, and then said, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I'm the only white guy in
I'm
this
the only
mosque.
white guy in this mosque. You're some kind of imposter. I'd like you to leave.
Yeah, desist. Yeah, there's another mosque just up the road. Yeah. He didn't say any of those things. He just sat down, gave salam, and just said, are you new? I am new here. And that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
And then, yeah.
As you say, worst mistake you ever made in your life. And if you think about
the worst mistake you made was saying hi to
we're
me.
saying hello. You look nice. Oh, you can be wrong, can't you? You can be. And then a couple of years after that, we started working together, and
Yep.
since then, and I mean this, my days are filled with joy.
It's just, it's not work, is it?
It's not work.
It's not work when you go out.
Nothing we do is
when
work.
you go out and smile and have fun.
Yeah.
It's not work.
And by the way, we have toiled over that. I'm not saying we don't work. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like it.
No. We have done some very, very, very long hours.
Oh, my goodness.
And toiled over some pretty painful
Wait,
things.
do you remember our 28-hour day?
Oh, subhanallah.
I can't even.
And where was that? Where was it?
Well, it was from Wakefield
to London.
To
Wales.
To another part of Wales.
And then back to Wakefield.
And then back to Wakefield. It took us 20
in a
hours.
day.
In a
Took
van.
28 hours, yeah.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
In a, was it a Luton box van?
It was.
With
in
a tail
Luton
lift
box
on the
van.
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
My
Happy
goodness.
times. With who? Who were we with?
We were with Chris.
Chris.
We were with Chris. Brother Chris.
Subhanallah. Bless him.
And
Bless him.
yeah. It was something. It was certainly more than 24 hours. It was 26, 28 hours later. 26 to 28 hours and 3 points later.
Do you know Chris is the guy that you are 3 points in a 600 pound fine, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
What have you got
on record?
On record as the most overweight
Luton van
overloaded van
they'd ever seen.
They had ever seen in history.
Yeah, and this was moving across from. We just thought, well, you know, I didn't realise.
We had
but this
some
was
books.
sheer ignorance.
We had some books.
You think how heavy can books be?
And we just,
I know now.
So do I. To the kilogram.
I do remember driving it thinking, do you know, it is a bit slow to brake this.
I do remember.
You do have to think quite a long way in advance.
I do remember pulling into the petrol station and thinking the tyres are looking a bit flat here. We best put some air in them.
Yeah. I didn't know that there were load. I mean, it's our naivety. We were working for a charity at the time. We were helping a charity out. We were moving a load of books, and we overloaded a Luton van.
Going round corners, I remember thinking, it feels a bit odd. This
it does feel a bit odd.
But I'd better take corner.
It's rocking and rolling, this, isn't it?
I better take it a bit slower than this in future.
It was the braking.
And you're right, braking.
Yeah.
You put your foot on the brakes, and what happened?
Nothing. You had to think ahead. You had to think ahead. To be fair. But I mean, it's just one example. Yeah. You got a hernia. I got 3 points.
Yes. Happy days.
But even that didn't feel like
that
work.
was the longest day of my working life.
Yes,
the longest
same
single
here.
day working.
Yes.
28 hours.
Yes.
But do you know what? It was so much fun.
Oh, I just laughed the
So
whole
much
time.
fun.
Laughed the whole time.
And when you are in some part of South Wales, and you're unloading boxes of books out of a van
onto the side of the road.
Yes, because at
the weighing station.
Yes, because they refuse to allow you to leave.
And we took
laden.
3 boxes off, and they went 30 boxes off, 100 boxes off. Are we allowed to leave any in?
Crazy, wasn't it? Crazy.
And it turned out that the biggest contributor was that thing on the back.
Yep.
It had one of those things that goes down.
Yeah, the automatic tailgate.
Automatic tailgate
was heavier than the.
It was a third.
It was almost as heavy as the load-bearing capacity of that van.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so we didn't have any, and they went. To be fair, you have got it floor to ceiling, and every single one of these boxes has got books in it. Do you know how heavy books are? So I do now.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
We're not advocating this, by the way. I don't know how we got onto this topic.
No, never, ever, ever overload a van under any circumstances.
No, good Lord. I know now.
So do I.
But again, you learn. You learn as you meander through life. Wouldn't do it again.
Do you know what?
Get a bigger van.
I heard of somebody else overloading a van and falling foul of that.
Really?
Yes, I did. And it was at my daughter's wedding.
Really?
We booked the hotel. We booked the hotel.
Yes, I know where you're going to go
and
with
the
this.
caterers.
Is it really the caterers?
Yeah, the caterers coming across from Manchester to Wakefield.
Yeah.
Brilliant caterers.
Yes, gorgeous.
Brilliant food. The best wedding food I've ever had.
Yep.
And I knew of them because I'd been to a wedding that used those caterers before, and it was spectacular.
Yes.
And they set off with all of the food ready to go. Yeah. And they got the hotel kitchens ready with the ovens on.
Got everything sorted.
To get everything warmed and everything cooked, etc., etc.
Yep.
But they'd overladen their van.
Oh, my
And they got stopped.
goodness. Oh.
And they had to offload half of the pans that they had got on the van onto the hard shoulder of the motorway before they were allowed to set off again.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, crazy. So they set off, got to the hotel, and they immediately had to spin around and go back again to pick the rest of the stuff up and get back.
Yeah.
And that's why we had 450 guests in that hotel.
Yeah. Starving. Oh, no. And of all the things...
And I was thinking,
do
you know what? I've got 450 hungry people here and there's no food.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I tell you what we'll do. We'll make an announcement that it's soon going to be Maghrib time.
Yeah.
Let's all pray Maghrib in Jamaat.
Yeah.
We got the hotel to lay some tablecloths down on the floor. We had a massive Maghrib Jamaat. It was just beautiful.
Yes.
And at the end of that, the canapes started coming out.
Yeah.
So the caterers had got there. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Allah has a better plan.
Yes.
Allah has a better plan.
And the thing with that...
And do you know what? I've spoken to so many people after that. Nobody noticed.
No. And I was going to say, and it's one of those things where, and that is down to your mentality.
Yep.
There were people go, oh, it ruined it. Oh, no. It just had colour.
I
just had
have to say that I had a word with the caterers.
And I'm sure at the time,
when it came to paying them,
you were a little bit. Yes,
I had a word.
Yeah.
And I managed to get a few quid knocked off.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, the whole evening was just brilliant.
It was fantastic.
And people talk about it to this day.
Yes,
so it can't have been that
I remember it very, very well.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
I could tell you the date.
And I know that you can tell us the date, and I know why. You'd like to inform our listeners as to why?
It's the 16th of September.
And why do you recognise that date?
I know we don't do birthdays, but I was born on the 16th of September. So it sticks in my mind.
We don't do birthdays, but it is yours.
But it is mine. It is mine. It sticks in my mind, that date. Can't help it. Because I had, 30 years of doing birthdays.
I had 28 years of doing birthdays.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember birthdays.
So it was brilliant. It was brilliant that day, and I'll never forget the date. And you do hear about these things happening. Oh, it ruined this. Oh, it ruined that. Oh, the photographer wasn't. No, it just adds colour. This is how you looked at it. Or you could say, well, I've got a story for the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean?
Is it right to say we don't do this for fun? Well, actually, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We don't.
Two white Muslims,
we don't
free
do it for the money.
And worth every penny.
Yes.
You know me, I am Captain Cliche. I used to live my life based on quotes.
Yep.
Because they mean so much. And I remember.
What do you mean used to?
Well, yeah, true. I remain Captain Cliche. But the one, well, many ring through my ears, but one that stands out as much based on what you just said, I forget who said it. But they said, a really, really, really successful businessman said, if you could go back and change anything, what would you do? He said, I would pay somebody, and all they had to do was follow me around and keep saying, you can do it. You can do this.
Yep.
You can do this.
Yep.
Because there's so many people around you telling you the opposite. Is I just need somebody to remind me, you're great, you can do this. You can do this. I know. And you'd be laughing, thinking, who scripted that? Who wrote that? I don't know. It just fell out of my mouth.
It just came out. Oh. None of this is planned, is it?
No.
If it was, it'd be proper content.
I know. Can you imagine? No. We could sell it to other people. Like I say, we have to do an hour, sieve out the 1 minute of... No. It's the beauty of the podcast. We cut all the rubbish out. 3 hours is down to 2 minutes.
We get 1.5 minutes per hour, don't we? Not going to rain.
Yes.
Therefore, just enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah. And whatever you're doing today, you can go out without fear of being wet.
Brilliant.
You can go out knowing that you don't need a coat. It's still relatively warm out there. You don't need your heating on, which is going to save us all a load of money.
Yes.
Yeah. I dare say the energy companies are cursing.
Yes.
But I'm not.
We're going to lose several billion. What?
Yeah. So what?
Did you hear about? Is it Amazon?
When did that become my problem?
Was it Amazon? There's a company. Sorry, I digress. Completely out of character.
No, it's not like you.
Is it Amazon that was listed? And it's the second company ever. It is now a trillion
company. Yeah.
Pound
trillion
company. Yeah. That's 1,000 billion. And a billion is 1,000 million. So it's 1,000 million.
And a million is more than I'll ever see in my life.
Yes, absolutely. And a million is still way beyond the grasp of most people. A trillion. Apple was the first, and Amazon is a trillion. So there'll be companies out there thinking, oh my goodness, with this heated off, we're going to lose a fortune. Yeah, still making plenty. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
do not worry about it.
We're still going to have a winter.
We are. Yes, we are. Yeah. And it may well be a terrible one, because I remember the summer of 1976 was followed by the winter of 1976.
As our boss man
walked in and given us a big wave.
He's unlocking his door.
He is.
And he's about to go into his office.
He is.
Never to see the light.
He's unlocking his door. He's not having much luck. Oh, there we go. There we are. He's in. Brilliant. Do you know...
You know he's having a good day when he leaves his door open.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Look at that.
It's just shut.
I think I'll go and make him I'm going to make him a cup of tea.
Yeah.
In fact,
shut.
Muslim Lifestyle Expo.co.uk in Manchester. It's coming to Manchester.
Yep.
One of the biggest events.
Yes.
In the history of Muslim events.
Yes.
And it's
in
Manchester. And guess what? Heritage Radio have got a stand.
Yes.
There. And guess what?
Two white Muslims are talking.
We're going to be talking.
We're talking.
Alhamdulillah.
Yep.
And do you know what I've decided? I've decided that I'm going to get some recording kit and a microphone.
Yes.
And I'm going to go and do some roving interviews.
Let's be honest. There's going to be thousands. It's going to be like searching for a needle in a haystack. Let's find the 3 men and a dog.
Let's find them.
Three men and a dog.
They'll be there.
Though the dog will be easy.
The dog
to be fair.
Let's
find the 3 men. We reckon there's 3 men out there listening. Let's find them.
I'm going to find them.
Yes.
I'm going to challenge them.
Yes.
What on earth do you think you're doing in your life?
Actually, it should be 3 men, 1 lady and a dog.
Yeah.
Because it was 1 lady whose name now escapes, but it'll come to me, who wrote to Hussein Manua saying, oh, you should meet these guys.
Oh, do you know it was?
It was a lady, wasn't it? Was it Nasmi?
And actually, it was also a lady that said, gosh.
Yes.
I've just tuned in, and these brothers are bonkers.
So maybe it's 3 men, 2 women and a dog.
And
That's starting to sound like a nursery rhyme now.
It sounds like...
There were 3 men, 2 women and a dog.
It's all the start of a very sad joke.
Yes.
There were 3 men, 2 women.
2 women and a dog. Oh, my goodness.
So, Junaid, have you got a short one?
Well, do you know...
Am I allowed to say that on live?
We've been to London. Big enough to fill a pram. We've been to London.
Yes.
And London is one of those amazing places. I mean, everywhere are sewers.
I love that place.
Everywhere are sewers, but who thinks to put trains in them?
I know.
So we went down on the tube, and it was one of those things. I used to say, oh, I hate London. Oh, I don't like London. I hate London. First time I went down, hate London. post office tower. All of a sudden, you're just like,
Great.
it's amazing. It is amazing.
Love it.
It's amazing.
I went down ice cool.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get excited.
I'm not going to get
excited about a few buildings.
Yeah.
Few buildings. Look at Parliament. It's amazing.
It's Big Ben. Big Ben. It's huge. Brilliant. But yeah, so we've been to London many times. We've been on the tube.
Yeah, we have.
Many times.
Yep.
So you kind of get a feeling, because we get on a long way out, so we get a seat. So by the time you're in there, but we've been in the middle and you've had to stand up and you have to cram in.
Yep.
And we've seen people, because the doors kind of fold up over the top, and the number of people that get their heads trapped in the door when it shuts, brilliant. So funny. It's worth going just for that. But, when it's really full, and people cram on, and they do, and they push people on, and then the doors shut behind them, and everybody relaxes just a little bit, and it sets off.
Yep.
Have you seen the terrifying footage of the tube travelling with the doors open?
No.
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
And it's heart-pounding stuff, because you know what it's like when you're down there. Because the tunnel.
And that was during rush hour.
I don't know if it's during rush hour. But
was it crowded?
It didn't look overly crowded, to be fair. But you just kind of think, oh my goodness!
Can you imagine the wind?
Well, oh gosh,
and
yeah.
the noise,
the wind, but also because the thing that surprised me the first time I went to the tube is how close the walls are.
Oh yeah.
You assume it's like going into a tunnel. No. Because what they've said is, right, how big's a train? Oh, it's that big. Let's do the tunnel just a little bit bigger.
A couple of inches more.
Yes. Let's not waste any digging.
Yep.
Let's not dig too much.
That's right.
So it is literally the size of a train.
Yeah.
We need bigger trains. Tough.
You can't.
You won't fit.
You can't have bigger trains because we'd have to rebore those holes.
Yes. And so
would be an engineering. It can't be done.
You need a big drill for that.
There are very few things in this world that can't be done.
No, fair comment. It could be done. Wouldn't be
but
worth
at what
it.
cost?
Yeah, you'd be better just putting an extra carriage on the back.
Yes.
But the walls are incredibly close to the point where you think I could reach out and touch that. Yes,
you can.
If the doors are open.
Yep.
Which they were.
Oh my goodness.
So the tube was running around. Somebody's videoed it and they go, oh yes, we're going to be looking into this. Yes, you should. If that had been full, and the doors didn't shut, and it set off, and that bloke who normally gets his head stuck in it had his head where it would have been,
it'd have been lopped off, wouldn't it?
Yes.
No two ways about it. He would have lost his head.
Terrifying.
Yeah. I feel I'm losing my mind. Actually, do you know the reason for that?
Yes, you are. Yes. Wow.
Good grief!
So that's a
disaster.
I was finding it's one of those where, because you've experienced it, because you've been there, things that you take for granted, all of a sudden that door not there, that'd be a bit scary.
A bit.
That would be a little bit scary.
Incredible.
So yeah, extraordinary. Nightmare. I keep getting every 10 minutes 3,000 rejected emails land in my email box, but I haven't sent any.
That's outrageous.
Do you know what I mean? It's like. No. Which means that I'm not getting me proper stuff.
That shouldn't be happening.
Nope.
Is that because your email inbox is full?
Yes.
You're not getting your proper stuff?
Yes.
That's crazy.
But it's not full of emails, it's full of messages saying, we couldn't send this email. Well, I haven't tried to send any. So I think somebody has gone in and they're trying
into the server.
Yep, and they're trying to send it
from your account.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So my apologies. It's absolutely stopping everything at the minute.
It's just because it puts your life on hold.
Yes, because it then freezes my phone.
It stops you from breathing.
I can't get in and see my list. That's the frustration.
No.
Exactly.
No. We need your list.
Exactly. So that's everything. It's stopping my phone, stopping everything.
Call me old-fashioned, if you like. Go on.
Oh, it's all written down.
No, call me
it's
old-fashioned.
It's all written down.
Pen and paper.
You're old-fashioned.
Thank you. Pen and paper.
It's
I'm an old man with a beard.
It's all written down, but then I need to get little bits of it. But, I mean, one of the things that leaps out, what are you never more than 2 feet away from in Great Britain?
A rat.
Yes! Yes! Absolutely. And there's a postcode thing come out.
It's not 2 feet. It's 5 yards.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 feet is quite close. To be fair,
it'd be under the desk.
Yes. It'd be on my chair. So yeah, let's say 5 yards then. 5 yards. What's that? Is that 10 feet?
Yeah, something like that.
Or 15. Whatever.
15
feet.
Yeah.
15. Yeah, never more than 15 feet from a rat in this great British Isle of ours.
Yes.
There's a postcode as to where there's more than any others.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I just thought that was fascinating. But I thought, I remember reading that. You are never more than however far.
Can you reveal where this is?
If I can get on this is the problem. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get back in. Because
do you want to borrow my phone?
we are working on this.
Do you think you might corrupt mine as well?
I might. You never know. We're working on this as we speak. But no, just I thought, oh, that's incredible. But it reminded me of that quote. You're never so from, and I thought, I wonder if you've read that. Yes, you have.
Yes,
so it's obviously true then. It's obviously true. In this great British Isle of ours, you are never more than 5 yards from a rat.
So this rat-infested great British Isle of ours, which it is.
Yes, but it focused on postcode breakdown shows number of rat sightings in Wakefield district.
No.
Yes, this is absolutely specific to us.
Oh my goodness.
More than 4 calls a day.
Rats.
Are made about rats to Wakefield's Council Pest Control Service.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to tell you something now.
Oh, go on.
We live next to a railway line.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's your train set.
It's my personal train set. It's big.
Yes.
And it's the biggest personal train set I've ever seen. And it goes
some
round
other people call it the
Leeds London Main Line. East Coast Main Line is what other people call it, but I call it my personal train set.
Brilliant.
That's my little toy in my back garden.
Yes,
so,
brilliant.
Anyway, next to the railway line, and what do railway embankments have on them?
Do you mean trees?
No, apart from trees.
Oh,
I'm talking about wildlife.
Oh! Go on, you're going to say rats?
Rats.
I'm
going to say rats, yes.
Really?
So, there was a time, where I used to throw out bread for the birds.
Yes.
I've stopped doing it now. Because what came into our garden as a result?
Oh, rats.
And then we had a bird feeder on the table on the patio at one stage.
Did they learn to climb?
Yes, they did.
Did they?
And they came up onto that table to take the seeds and nuts out of the bird feeders.
Wow.
Yeah. And I tell you, agile little things they are.
Yeah.
And they're fast as well.
Really?
So, one of the reasons for purchasing my air rifle, and you know I've got one of those because we've shot it together.
Yes.
We've done so. I've got a nice target with some metal ducts that is like a
metal
rifle range. It's like a rifle. Yeah, I'm going to fashion those into rats instead of ducks.
Yeah.
It's like a rifle range at the fair, isn't it?
Ping.
So there you go, ping, and the thing gets knocked down, and then you lift them all back up again and start again. So I was considering some live shooting.
Oh.
Because legally, with an air rifle, you are allowed to shoot vermin.
Am I right in thinking also obligated? There's something that
I don't know about obligated. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
but you certainly you face no qualms from anybody about shooting rats.
Yeah, certainly better than feeding them.
Rats are very intelligent.
I'm going to say, yeah, they'll gang up.
So, some people choose to have rats as pets.
Yep.
And they're nice, engaging, loving little creatures as pets. They are.
Yep.
So long as they're kept clean and in a sanitised environment, they're fine.
Yep.
And I just don't have the heart.
I was just about to say, I can't see you killing anything.
I can't.
It's like, I remember going clay pigeon shooting and thinking, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
But I cannot understand people shooting real ones.
Real birds.
I cannot get me around it. You know what I mean?
No.
Clay, yes.
Yeah.
Targets, yes. Real things?
Target's brilliant. I love my air rifle for that. And I have to say, I got quite good.
Yes.
I got quite good at some distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pinpoint accuracy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Wow.
And the rifle that I've got is brilliant.
Yes.
As well. But no, I can't bring myself around to shooting rats.
No.
So what I noticed some weeks after this seeming infestation that we had, our next door neighbour, I saw a van pull onto his drive, and it was the exterminator.
Oh, really?
It was the rat man.
Yep.
And since then, we haven't seen a rat.
Oh. They get a bit of a bum rap, don't they? Because people go, oh, mice, lovely. Rats, not so much.
No, don't like them.
They're all vermin.
Yeah, I know.
All vermin.
Yeah, mice will spread the disease just like rats do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to explore was, okay, so what do people just take for granted?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we take for granted the fact that, do you know what? If I'm sat here within, so if we say even 5 yards, there's a rat.
There's a rat, yes.
It just is.
Yeah.
What you going to do about it?
I'll just learn to live with it.
What you going to do?
Yep.
I remember when my brother-in-law moved to Australia, and he was on the phone. We were chatting on the phone because WhatsApp is an amazing thing because it's still free because it's all internet-based. He's halfway around the world, and I can speak to, I can listen, I can see him.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I heard this noise, and I went, what's that? I went, oh, it's a parrot. I went, has it got out? And he burst out laughing. And he went, no, they're indigenous. They live. This is where they get parrots from.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, what? And when I went over, he said, what do you want to see? Harbour Bridge, this, that, the other. I said, no, I want to see parrots. I want to see parrots just being parrots. He went, okay. Just took me out to the garden where we have pigeons and beautiful birds. I'm not saying, the birds are better. It was just different.
Wow.
They have green parrots with a red breast and cockatoos.
Wow.
Big white cockatoos with the big white things.
Amazing.
You know, like Johnny Morris cockatoo.
Yep.
What I would call normal, everyday birds.
A friend of mine used to keep an African grey parrot.
Really?
Yeah. And it was called Monty.
Yeah.
And, you know, when people imitate a parrot talking, they do it in that high screechy voice, don't they?
Yeah.
And you know, they don't talk like that at all.
Really?
Really. So this really took me by surprise, did this. Because Monty would just sit there on his perch, and he'd stand there on his perch, and out of nowhere it would just go, Monty, in a girl's voice.
Really?
And that was my friend's sister. And it imitates the voice.
Oh, wow.
And then it'd just, out of nowhere, it'd go, silly bird. And that was the dad. Honestly, it's silly bird. And it was exactly in his voice. You'd turn around and think, where is he? As he just walked in.
Morning.
So they actually get the tone, the intonation.
So they imitate.
Everything about the voice. It's the tone of the voice. It's just remarkable what those things can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they start doing the comedy whistles and that kind of stuff.
Well, the old telephones.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
trill phones?
The trill phones, the new old telephones, the trill phones, and they would imitate the trill phones.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So they're amazing creatures are parrots. I absolutely love them because this friend of mine, they went on holiday for a few weeks.
Yes.
And they needed Monty looking after.
Of course.
I'll do it.
Yes.
So I had Monty
and then
in
Monty
my bedroom.
I'll do it.
I had Monty in my bedroom for a few weeks now.
Wow.
Oh, I was trying to teach it a few words.
I can well imagine. I
don't necessarily want to repeat
those
words.
No. I can imagine when you come back, them saying, "Don't invite your grandkids round, not for a little bit, not till potty mouth has been cured."
My gutter mouth Paris.
Yes, yeah, brilliant.
But do you know what? He was such a good boy, was Monty. Didn't repeat anything that I'd said. Not a word of it.
Bless him.
Fantastic.
So
amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
I was just thinking things that people take for granted.
Yeah.
So we take for granted. We have rats.
Yep.
As we, I was stood out there trying to sort this email thing out, and I could see squirrels.
Yeah.
Run up and down the street. I love squirrels.
Yeah, so do I. But what
I know
are
some
they?
people hate them. They're vermin again.
Rats with bushy tails.
Rats with bushy. They're pretty rats.
Yeah, they are.
But they're lovely. I just love the way the wave they make as they run is just incredible.
The undulating.
As they
looks brilliant.
Amazing.
Doesn't it?
But again, take them for granted. Taken for granted.
And how they can just move so quickly and then still.
Yes.
Yeah, freeze.
Yep.
Instant freeze.
Wherever they are, on a tree, on the ground.
Doesn't matter. They just freeze. And have a look around. You see their eyeballs moving and their noses twitching.
Yeah.
Beautiful creatures.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Go up to Scotland, the massive, shaggy cows.
Yes.
Highland
heifers.
Yes. Yeah. And you go, oh, look at that, and everybody in Scotland goes, yeah, it's a cow.
Yes, it's a cow.
No, it's not. It's a big shaggy thing. Yeah. No, it's a cow. That
it looks more like a mammoth.
Yeah. No, that's just a cow.
It's
not. But it is to them.
Is it Frisian cows that they're called?
I
can't remember. I don't know. But I know what you mean by that. By the really woolly cows. Then.
And that's just how they are. You know what I mean?
That's cows up here.
Yeah. So people in Australia just go, well, it's just a parrot.
It's just a bird.
And I'm like, it's a parrot.
Yeah.
And they flock.
Yeah.
So there'll be a tree full of green parrots.
Wow.
It's amazing. And they're like, it's just parrots to annoy you. No, they're not.
Now, can the green ones actually talk like African greys can?
They screech, so I would imagine they can.
Because African greys are renowned for talking.
Right.
For being able to mimic voices.
Yeah. These are little. It's not like you imagine parrots to be like blues, and these the green with the red front, and it's just.
Wow.
I just found it fascinating that people just go, they're just birds, isn't it?
Birds.
No, it isn't. You know what I mean?
No.
And we just go,
sparrows are just birds.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just squirrels. No, they're brilliant. brilliant.
They're not.
So, you go around the world, what do people take for granted?
Wow,
just
amazing.
Extraordinary.
So, sadly, for us, it's rats.
Yeah, and for us, it's
them,
rats.
It's parrots.
But then the other thing that sprung to mind was apparently if people come to this country from another country and they say when they return, they say just things that you take for granted. Say, what's your overriding memory of Great Britain? Say, oh, everywhere smells of milk.
Huh?
I know, that's what I said. What? Yeah, everything, everywhere smells of milk. Everything smells of dairy. There's just that slightly sour, and I'm like, what? But if you think milk forms the vast majority of everything that it's in cheese, it's in butter, we do dairy. We do dairy.
It's in my tea.
What
and your
we
coffee.
do.
Yeah.
We do dairy. You have it on your breakfast.
It was on my Weetabix this
It was on
morning.
your Weetabix this morning.
Other cereals are available.
Absolutely. We
But
do.
none of them are as good as Weetabix.
We have it in cream. We have cream on everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We do dairy.
Yeah, we do.
We full on do dairy.
Yep.
And that dairy, because we have so much of it, we emit an odour.
Are you saying I smell of
I'm
yogurt?
saying you smell of yogurt, is what I'm saying. I couldn't think of any other way of doing it. We have to share a car. It's a confined space. I figured I had to bring this up in the nicest way possible in front of 4 men and a dog. It's the only I could say. No, apparently we smell of dairy.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
We smell of dairy.
Outrageous.
But you might go to, we might go to a country and go, oh, that everything. I could smell the spice, or I could smell rice, or I could smell. And you think, actually, yes, but they can't. Amazing. So apparently, we smell of dairy.
I can smell curry.
Yes,
Do you know what?
Yes, classic example.
I've got a plant in my garden
Go on.
that smells curry. It is a curry plant. It's amazing.
Wow.
So I walk past that thing and feel hungry.
Oh,
Yeah, I walk past that thing and think, do you know what? I'm going to cook that thing and eat
yes,
it.
yeah,
I'm going to eat that thing one day. It
yes,
smells incredible.
yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
You know the smell of Spanish food, but in Spain they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
you, no, it's everywhere. Not
Yeah.
in. And they can't smell it anymore.
Yeah. When I was in Sri Lanka,
Yes.
yeah, you've been to Sri Lanka.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remember when in the village in Sri Lanka at a certain time of day, which was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
they start the fires to cook dinner,
Right.
and they burn coconut husk for their fuel. That's
Yes.
what they burn because there's so much of it around.
Yes.
Coconut shells and husk. So there's a particular aroma that just fills the air at about 4 o'clock, and that's
Yeah.
what gets your stomach rumbling because
Yeah.
you know they're starting to cook dinner. It's just
Yeah.
going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And that's the smell.
Yeah.
And that's what you get in
Yeah.
Sri Lanka. And if I go back there, I will recognise that smell.
Yes.
And it will make me feel hungry again. So, yeah, different places do have different
Yeah.
aromas. They do.
The people there can't smell anymore.
That's right.
They like the classic Grimsby Dock.
Yeah.
Guess what that smells of?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It smells of fish. But they can't smell it.
No, they can't.
It's dead to them. They can't smell it. They can't smell it. But we go there, we're like, whoa! How do you live here?
Oh.
Incredible. The things we take for granted.
Absolutely.
The things we take for granted.
Junaid, it's at times like this I wish I'd listened to what my mother used to say.
Why? What did your mum used to say?
I don't know, I didn't listen. I just wish I had.
Font of all knowledge. That's what your mother is.
Is it?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Do you know, we should all listen to what mothers say.
We should.
We should. And what was the phrase? I think I've said this on this show in the past as well. I think it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
By the time that you realise that your parents were always right, you've got children that think you're always wrong.
It is so true.
Isn't that true?
It is so true.
Absolutely. And you know, it's just a full circle, isn't it? Full circle, full circle.
Yeah.
Because by the time they realise that you are always right,
Yep.
they'll have children that think they're
Absolutely.
always wrong.
And it's
Subhanallah.
like things flow down more than up. Because I love my parents. I adore my parents. I
Yep.
hope my kids love me and adore me. I hope they do.
Yep.
But when you have a child, you suddenly realise how much your parents love you.
Oh God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. Subhanallah.
That it flows
And do you
down.
know what? When you cascades through the love cascading through generations
Yes.
is how I've heard it described.
Yeah.
And it's the truth.
Yeah.
And it does. And you know, I can see that when you get grandchildren.
Yeah.
Subhanallah. And I know what that feels like.
Yes.
Because I've got a grandson, and he is my favourite grandson of all time ever. and he will be until I get another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
then I'll have to share it a bit. But I've got my favourite granddaughter of all time ever, because she's my first granddaughter.
Yes.
And, she was around yesterday, and she just, just makes your heart melt, and you don't know where it just comes from.
Yeah.
Inside, it just comes from that special place, and that special place of love. And can you imagine, because you've got children and you love your children, and I've got grandchildren, I love my grandchildren, that love coming out of me, and I can't control it. It's just there. It's just part of me. It's just the
like
natural state of being.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Allah?
My goodness.
The whole of creation.
Yeah. The affection
is his.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that kind of love, isn't it? The amount. Yeah. And what does he call himself all the way through the Quran? The compassionate, the merciful. Yeah, the merciful, the full of forgiveness. Yeah. And I was involved at the weekend on a TV station show.
You were.
That was tough at times. It has to be said. It was difficult getting my head around some of this, because it was a Christian TV station, and they're very much the evangelist Christians with the power of Jesus and the Holy Spirit running through. They didn't speak with an American accent. He was as Yorkshire as I am, but that's how you hear it. And when they're saying these words, it sounds quite. It's an interesting feeling when these words are directed at you. Yeah. Because it's not. That's not what I think. And that, in my opinion, is shirk. And it's far removed from the way that I think, because there is only one power, and that's from Allah.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And Allah may direct His power in different ways. Yeah. But there is only one power, and that's from Allah alone. Yep. No partners. He doesn't need the help of the Holy Spirit, and etc., etc.
Yeah,
it's just one power. But I was involved in this at the weekend. It was quite interesting, quite bizarre at times. Yeah, but do you know what? It kind of brings it home to you. Because they talked about God being ever loving, ever forgiving, ever powerful, ever this, that, and the other. Yeah. And I was thinking, yep, you're right, absolutely.
Tick.
Yep. And I was introduced as a former Christian that became Muslim.
Yeah. And how did they describe you? Somebody who
switched sides.
Yes.
And we had another guest on the show who was Muslim and became Christian.
Yeah.
And they described him as
having
switched sides.
Yep.
And then we had our dear beloved brother Korsatai.
Fantastic.
Always been Muslim and always will be.
Yep.
Subhanallah, inshallah. And we had Phil Heaton, who has always been Christian and always will be.
Yes.
You know? So it was a pretty well evenly balanced mix.
Yes.
One hardcore Christian, one hardcore Muslim, one Muslim that used to be Christian, and one Christian that used to be Muslim.
Yeah.
Fair balance.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. But when he said switched sides, I couldn't help but say, Phil,
hang on just a second.
Can I just check the way that you're saying that? Because I believe we're all on the same side.
Yep.
You know, we haven't switched sides. We're all pushing against the same door here.
Yes.
We're all on the same journey. We're all trying to make our way back to Allah.
Yeah.
Without becoming toast, unscathed and as clean as we can be.
Yeah.
And yes, we make mistakes, but Allah is merciful. He is forgiving. And one of the points that came out was that if you do sins, can all sins be forgiven? Yeah. And the concept came out that yes, all sins can be forgiven because Allah is ever powerful and ever merciful.
Yep.
But there are some sins that won't be forgiven, and one of those is shirk.
Yeah.
That's ascribing partners to Allah, and this is what their lives and their faith is built around.
Is all about.
Which kind of worried me.
Yeah.
And it worried me to such an extent. I actually got a little bit choked up for these people.
Yeah.
But it got really, really odd. But I was saying that Allah can forgive anything because far be it from describing himself as the Punisher, or the Slayer, or the Tormentor, or these negative. There's none of that. None of that at all. Allah describes himself as the compassionate, the beneficent, the merciful, the forgiveness and the love and the etc. etc. And that's all you get with Allah. That's it, because Allah's created us as we have choices. We have choices. And we make those choices, and some of those choices that we make are right, and some of them are wrong. And Allah knows that, because He created us that way. He gave us the choices so that we can ultimately make the right choices to make our way back to Him.
Absolutely.
And this is the test. This is what we're here for. This is why we live our lives. And this is why sometimes life is an absolute breeze. And sometimes it's pain. And it's hard. And it's just, sometimes you just think, what is the point? Don't you? But
absolutely.
Do you know what? When you think, what is the point, what's the best thing to do?
Alhamdulillah. This is the point.
What's the best thing?
Then go and pray. Absolutely.
Pray.
Yes.
That's the best thing to do. If you think there is no point in this anymore, what's the best thing to do?
Go and pray.
Pray.
Yes.
If you think there's no point in praying, what's the best thing to do?
Pray.
If you think there's nobody listening, what's the best thing to do?
Pray.
If you think my prayers are not being answered, what's the best thing to do?
Pray more.
What's the best? Are we getting a message here?
I think so. But can I also say, and when you sat there thinking life is brilliant, what should you do?
Pray.
Because it's easy to pray when you want something. It's easy to ask when you want something. It's easy to, literally pray, beg when you want something. It's quite something. It's the old, mend your house while the roof is shining. Mend your roof while the sun is shining. The temptation is going, sun's shining. I don't need to do that. And actually, it's creating that attitude of gratitude whilst you're on the crest that makes it easier to feel justified in praying during the troughs. If that makes sense. But that can be a challenge sometimes as well, where everything's going all right. Don't need to do anything. I've got nothing to ask. Don't need to pray. Right. It's all right.
Well, if you want it to continue to be all right,
pray. Pray.
Simple as that.
Pray.
So I feel we've been a bit preachy this morning.
Yes, we've gone off on one.
That's all right. I don't mind that.
Should we talk about Star Wars then?
Get back on the list. Come on, then. Star Wars.
Talk about Star Wars. A little
something a little less preachy.
And a little pet thing of mine. Star Wars.
You love Star Wars.
I do love Star Wars. I was, what would it be, 7, 8 when it came out. So I think it was just in my wheelhouse. It was just that age, and I got every comic you could buy. I think I had number one through to a number 113.
Wow.
And the cards that you could buy, I had all of those, and then got to my teenage years and thought, I need to grow up now. Guess what I did with them? Tipped them. Honestly. And in retrospect, you think, you could grow up, stick them. You have a loft. Put them in the loft. Fool.
How much would they be worth?
Well, huge Star Wars collection, amassed over several decades. Mine wasn't this big, I'm not saying like that. But huge Star Wars collection, amassed over several decades, goes up for auction valued at £100,000, including a rare Boba Fett doll worth $2,000 and a Darth Vader figure, which was one of the first ever released. But you look at it and you look at some of these things and think, had that. Had that. Had that. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, this is huge. This is huge. So of course it's $100,000. But you just look and you think, wow, had that. I had that. Incredible, really. When you look at the figures, these are. I can never understand though. These figures in this thing are still in the box, and I know that means that they're worth more. But what's the point? As an 8-year-old kid, what is the point in getting I'll keep that in the box. It might be worth something. Play with it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Play with it. But look at I had that. I think everybody had that.
Wow.
The Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker figure. And it's just it was the memories it was bringing back as you go through. I had that. And I have promised myself at some point that I will buy at least the first 10 comics again, and just to have them somewhere. But $100,000. £1,000
Incredible.
for this collection.
And you skipped yours.
And I tipped it.
Subhanallah.
Extraordinary. But brilliant. And a really, just to look at it and think, oh, I remember that. I remember buying the cards that you got came with bubble gum. The bubble gum was foul.
Do you know what? I love that
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I used to throw that away.
You had to get the best bubbles out of it.
Just to get the cards. I used to throw that bubble gum away just to get the cards.
What was the bubbly called? Anglo bubbly.
Was it?
Bubbly. Yes, it was, yeah.
But the cards were cards, and on one side it had a part of the film, and on the other it had a part of the scene.
Bubblegum has never seen anything natural in its life.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Natural flavours is
Natural
what we
flavours,
get nowadays.
no.
100% guaranteed, 100% chemical.
It should say tastes like natural flavours. Not contains.
Guaranteed not to
Guaranteed
contain
not
anything
to contain
natural
anything natural.
whatsoever.
Absolutely, yes. Made in a lab. And proud of it.
And then we wonder why we're so ill.
I know. Oh, my
We get all
goodness.
these hideous diseases.
I've just looked at the clock.
I know. It's time, isn't it?
It's time.
The time has gone so quickly.
It's
as
time
it
to go. I can't believe
usually
it.
does. And
No, but today more than ever.
I know,
think.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I think,
No.
is that actually right? So, we've got to say goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah, before we
Farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, the next one.
do... whatever.
But thank you once again
Thanks for listening.
welcome. I can't say it.
Welcoming.
Someone's like welcoming us into your hearts. Abominable. It's what? It's in his stomach. No, it's a snowman. Abominable snowman.
Just say a bomb in a bull.
Yeah.
A bomb in a bull. Now say it quickly. My missus, bless her.
Let's get shoulder and soldier.
Silence.
Silence.
Anything could be better than this.
Free and worth it.
We, as usual, have enjoyed being here this morning.
Always.
We
Thank
love
you.
this. Thank you for listening, you 3 men, 2 ladies and a dog.
Yes.
Is it just a dog, or is there a cat involved?
There may be a cat.
I don't know.
There may be a cat.
There's going to be a cat involved.
Well, we'll see.
We will see. In our lives very shortly. We will see.
We will see.
More of that later.
Yes.
But thank you for having us in your homes, in your cars, in your ears, in your phones.
On your walk to the gym.
Wherever.
On your gym.
Wherever it is.
On your walk to and from school. At work.
Wherever it is.
At
Thank
home.
you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Reminder, the Muslim Expo.
Yep.
Which is on the 13th, 14th of October
It is.
in Manchester. Now, the great thing about the Muslim Expo is that it's run for Muslims by Muslims.
Yes.
It's everything Muslim in there.
It is.
All the Muslim companies and the Muslim businesses. It's a great exhibition. It's like Ideal Homes, but for Muslims.
Yes. It's like the boat show.
But with no boats.
For Muslims.
For Muslims. It's like the car show.
For Muslims.
With no cars.
No car. It's like the caravan show. For Muslims.
Without caravans.
Without the caravan.
Yeah. It's like any other show.
It is.
But for Muslims.
Yes.
Yes. Subhanallah. So it's something very, very worthwhile getting to. If you've never been to one before, get to this one.
Go, enjoy.
Obviously, the one of the highlights of this year's expo,
Yeah.
Muslim Lifestyle Expo in Manchester. One of the highlights is
Two white
the
Muslims.
2 white Muslims will be talking.
They'll be there talking.
We're giving a
Nice
microphone.
You've got 10
on the
minutes,
stage.
have we? Get ready.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
How fast are you?
You try and take this microphone off
Yeah,
me,
you'll have
and
to
you are
chase
in
me.
for a chase. Yes.
I can just turn it off and I can shout.
Yeah, I'm not leaving the stage. I don't
Yes.
care who comes on.
We
I'm
bought
not
our own
leaving.
microphones. Can you imagine? I've got my own.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So not only can you hear us,
Yes.
you can come and
see
meet us.
And we have every intention of going around and just interviewing as many people as we possibly can.
Roving Mike
Yes.
doing some interviews.
Yes.
If we can interview 3 men, 2 women and a dog, then alhamdulillah, my life will be complete from that
Exactly.
moment onwards.
Yes, yes.
So we're going to leave you for now. Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless all of you
Yep.
and us indeed. Keep us all safe, inshallah. And we'll speak to you next time. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum
Wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh.